Hey guys, thanks for joining me on this Lotus Evora 400 track adventure. Now, as some of you knew when I quit doing one takes, one of the things I wanted to do was spend more time with each car, really test the cars and do something that is exciting with them. So I asked Lotus for a Lotus Evora 400, and I wanted to take it to 4 track days all over California. And that is exactly what I did. I drove 2,200 miles, and I tracked the car at Buttonwillow, Willow Springs, Sonoma, and Laguna Seca. And I wrote a very in-depth, I think it's over 5,000 words piece for thedrive.com with photography and all kinds of detail that I go into. The link is in the description. But what we're going to take a look at is some of the laps from the racetrack. Now, as you can probably imagine, my fastest laps were not the laps I was recording video or narrating, because those two things don't really go together. You need to be really focused to run your fastest laps. So I got some in-car, some commentary, and I'm going to show you a couple of laps from each track, and then I'll come back in and tell you what the good lap looked like afterwards. So first, we're going to head out to Buttonwillow Raceway in Central California, 150 miles north of Los Angeles, up the 5 freeway. Track conditions were really good. It was about 70 degrees out. I did a Speed District track day. So shout out to speeddistrict.com. They put on great track days. And I'm on the Pilot Supersport OEM tire for this one, which in a typical Matt Farah fashion, I didn't do anything to. I just showed up at the track and drove on it. And as it turns out, they were way overinflated. But check the composure of the Evora 400 on Buttonwillow, and then I'll come back and tell you the lap.
Maybe difficult with the windows down. If so, I apologize, but I'm going to try. So flickable, beautifully linear power, not that turbo shove that you get, it's just linear. Whoa! I had a bit of almost a big pucker moment there in 4th gear. Woo! Wow, it's such an enjoyable, balanced car. The one thing is the inconsistency on the blips. I keep trying to do this lovely, deliberate, slow blip, and I'm having some trouble getting a consistent blip every time. Don't know why. It's weird. Wow, these brakes are really holding up well. Tires feel pretty good. Outsides, I got a tire pressure monitor here. Outsides are up to 38. Inside rear is at 35. Pretty good. All right, I think this will be the in lap. What a fun car. Oh my God, how lucky am I that I get to do 3 more track days in this after this. Beautiful. It's just so easy and forgiving, and like when your hands and feet talk, it listens.
All right, so as you can see, I had a really good time at Buttonwillow. It's a really fun track to drive, and the car itself is very well suited for it. Some of my high-speed cornering speeds weren't as high as they could have been, and I even mentioned in the video, my tires were definitely overinflated, and that'll take some of your time away. But it was a good time. I then drove 300 miles further north of that to Laguna Seca. I did an NCRC track day at Laguna Seca. Unfortunately, it was a quiet day, 90 decibels. And I thought that in quiet mode, the Evora 400 would sneak under. But as it turns out, when you're actually going fast, quiet mode becomes loud mode. And so I had to upshift early in turn 5 at the beginning of the hill. I want you to pay attention to that in the video. And then for one lap that I did not record at the very end, I was a bad boy and broke sound rules, and I'll tell you what that was when we come back.
Look at this truck, he's got a little trumpet happening there. Ooh, we caught some traffic here. Some people like to double apex this. I tend to take it wide and then tuck the nose. Oh, here comes a radical. We'll let the radical can have the corner. That's a busy day out here in Laguna. R32 Sky Lizzle. Hey, bud. I was talking to that guy before. Temps all looking good. Tire pressure's all looking good. I've got 35 in the front, 39 in the back. Good. Well, going up the hill is a little frustrating because you don't have the torque when you have to be a gear higher. But otherwise, this car flows very nicely through the track. But when you can't, like I just did a blip there and I literally couldn't hear it at all. Like in quiet mode, certain times it's like dead silent, but then other times it gets loud. Like quiet doesn't really mean quiet. I'm having a good time. Brakes are holding up really, really well. When you've got a car that's light, you can really not have to, oh, there we go, Z in the ground. We'll have to overbuild the other stuff.
You may have noticed is that unlike my ghetto gauge cam, I actually busted out the Harry's lap timer video. So the video quality itself is a little but you got a bit of a telemetry in there as well for your enjoyment. Laguna is such a good place. It's like a bucket list destination to a track day there. It's an expensive track day, but as you can see, having to go through that turn 5 in a higher gear to not blow sound is a bit frustrating. The very last lap, I went through it in the gear I was supposed to blow it. I was supposed to go through in terms of performance, and I ran a 1:43.4, which was actually my personal best lap ever at Laguna Seca. The next day, I went to Sonoma Raceway with Hooked on Driving, which was a great organization up there. HookedOnDriving.com. They have track days all over the West Coast. And Sonoma is such a cool place. It's very technical. The walls are very close. There are a lot of different configurations. There's a ton of elevation. And there are a lot of big, fast sweepers and corners that can unsettle the car. It's a tricky place. Now, the full course configuration we were running with no chicane is actually not a configuration I've ever run there before. So it took a little bit to get used to that. I was still on the Super Sport tires, which had seen a little bit of wear, but I had started to at least figure out to set them to like 28 front, 30 rear when they're cold. That would bring them up to the correct temperature by the time they got hot on the track. So at least I'd figured out how to optimize these tires by now. Have a look at a little bit of little heavier traffic at Sonoma, but it's a fun couple laps. Take a look at it.
Is that the line? Does he know and I don't know? Here's where his torque is. Oh, buddy. Sometimes you're really glad to have a video camera when that kind of shit happens. Ooh, it was going shady there for a minute. Good recovery from him. He was on it. He He recovered. Oh, come on. Trail brake. That corner is such a challenge for me. My timing isn't quite right on it. By the way, it should be noted, windows up, that means I've got air conditioning on right now. This Camry motor, even with the boost, it's like it couldn't give less of a shit about heat or how hard you beat it up. track. It's pretty shocking. I've got about 850 transit miles and 3 track days on this Evora 400, and my overall fuel economy is 15, which is pretty amazing. Let's see if I can catch up to this CTSV. He's got cams and shit. I heard it's loud, it's lumpy. He's mobbing. But so am I. Unlike him, I am stock mobbing. I definitely did not need to go down a gear there. Hooked on driving is good. They got some good cars. They got some good drivers here. A lot of Porsche GT3s modified. A lot of really, really fast street cars out here today. Thank you, TTers. Tenors. This is right here is where it gets shady. You gotta gather it up. It's all bumpy for the uphill. My one gripe with this engine, it's a small one, but sometimes the blips are inconsistent. If you give it a quick stab, the engine will have like a cough and a hiccup and it won't do a real blip. But if you do a slow, deliberate blip, then it gets really, really happy. Does he know this line? What's the line here? Come on there, buddy. Okay, I go by. Thank you.
So I showed you that session that had some traffic in it because it was a bit more fun for the video. I actually ran my fastest lap a little bit later in the day once I'd really learned from a couple of the locals how to optimize my line a bit. I ran a 1:57.2, which I feel like is actually pretty good, and the locals said was reasonably good. The car felt great. It loves transitioning back and forth, and it loves going over those crests where it gets light at Sonoma. It's a really, really fun car to drive at that track. I then stopped to my friends at Sharkworks, and Lotus decided that they would allow me to be the first person to try the 400 on a set of Cup 2s that they provided. So they sent a set of Sport Cup 2s to Sharkworks. I put them on. We also checked the brakes, which were like amazing. They didn't even need bleeding after 3 track days. I then drove 400 miles south to Los Angeles on the Cup 2s. I then drove another 200 miles to the HRE Open House and back. It's actually more like 300 miles. I then drove another 120 miles to Willow Springs. Okay, Streets of Willow for a Team Topac Racing track day there. Now, this was quite a busy track day for Streets of Willow, which is the shorter of the 2 big racetracks at Willow Springs. There's Big Willow and Streets of Willow. It's a tighter, more technical course that actually is really, really well suited to the Evora 400. Now, as you may have heard on the internet or whatever, I did actually, for the first time in 10, 12 years of going to track days, make a little bit of contact with another car on track. I discussed that in detail, both on the podcast and in the article. Go check that out. It's not on video. It's not... I don't have the video of it. I wasn't recording at the time. But here's the car was okay. I went back out on track. The damage was just a little bit of cosmetic. And I paid for that guy's car too, just so you know. Paid for my car, paid for that guy's car. Paid for both cars out of my pocket. Did it. Already done. Anyway, I went back out, and I was able to make a video after that. And it was a really, really fun track. So check out Session at Streets of Willow.
I think I might be a little early on that one. Little early. The brakes are so good on this car. The AP Racing brakes, they're not too fancy. They're 6-piston and they're really legit, but they're not ceramic or they're not some crazy technology you've never heard of. They're just brakes. But I had the fluid checked before this track day, and it was perfect. After 3 track days, the fluid had 0 air bubbles in it. It was shocking. You can stand on the brakes in this car, and they will really, really work. It's tough tough with that bump there. You gotta settle it, you know? But you have to settle it while braking and downshifting. It's just a challenge. It's fun though. Look up, look up, look up. This is a weird corner because you drive onto the skid pad, you use it as a corner. Just a lift there, not a brake. You really gotta bend it in. Shout out to Towpack Racing for having me at their track day today. No charge, appreciate that, boys. You guys run a good event out here, it's been fun. I seem to have found myself in the right position where I have a track mostly to myself. I might even be able to set something resembling a lap time. Oh no, that's not how to do it. Oh boy, I blow the bowl there. This is why race car drivers don't typically narrate and race at the same time. It can be a little distracting. Good brakes, good brakes. There it is. Cut. Oh, it's so tempting to just do a full drift.
As you saw in the video, Streets of Willow is really well mated with this car. The gearing, the brakes, the handling is all really well optimized for a track like Streets of Willow, a small to medium-sized road course. It's just brilliant. Now, the Cup 2 tires. Actually, my fastest lap there, which was a 125.4, was my fastest lap ever around Streets of Willow, was my first hot lap of the day. And it trailed off after that. So at 25.4, the next lap after that was in the 26s. Then they got really hot and it got to like the low 27s. And it sort of stayed there. Even though it didn't feel like I was doing my best driving, I just had more grip. And so the Cup 2 tires are really kind of like a one heat cycle tire, like a time attack tire. And believe it or not, well, believe it, they're much more susceptible to pressure changes. They're much more susceptible to temperature. They wear down quickly. And I actually preferred how the Super Sports drove all the time, even though they weren't as fast. I just thought the Super Sport was a much better match tire to the 400. So I hope you've enjoyed those laps. That's a good cross section of California track days in the Evora 400. And please go read my article at The Drive. Hit the link in the description for a much more in-depth analysis of each of these laps. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Now that we're here, before we go, don't forget to hit that link for the Auto Preme floor mats special price for you guys in the description of this video.